It's Saturday the 21st of September, it's just past 6 o'clock, and welcome to our weekly news programme. And in the news this week, the Office of the Lord Lieutenant of Dorset has announced this week the appointment of Mr Michael Dooley, LVO, MMS, FRCOG, as the new Lord Lieutenant of Dorset. Mr Dooley commenced his role on the 5th of September, taking on the responsibility of representing His Majesty the King in Dorset. As HM Lord Lieutenant, Mr Dooley will be working closely with businesses, charitable organisations and communities to promote civic, cultural and social initiatives across the county. He has extensive experience of working with numerous charitable sectors and a wide knowledge of the county from his role as High Sheriff in Dorset. Mr Dooley has had a long and distinguished medical career. He is a consultant gynaecologist to the Royal Household and practices in London and Dorset. He was the lead gynaecologist to the London Olympics and team doctor for the British Equestrian Federation for 8 years. He is a visiting professor at Bournemouth University. Since serving as High Sheriff for 4 years ago, he has developed and led initiatives creating health and harmony in Dorset. The project's next stage will focus on the county's prison population. He's also a trustee of Key for Life, which aims to reduce youth offending or reoffending. He has raised considerable sums for charities and other good causes, including the Dorset County Hospital, a local hospice and the Royal Osteoporosis Society. Speaking about his appointment, Mr Dooley expressed his gratitude and enthusiasm for the opportunity to serve as Lord Lieutenant of Dorset and said, "It is a great honour to serve as the King's representative in Dorset and follow in the footsteps of Angus Campbell, whose work has been inspirational and a huge benefit to the community. I am greatly looking forward to working with my lieutenancy team and continuing to work with the local charities as well as meeting local people and celebrate their many contributions to the communities in Dorset." Mr Dooley lives in Broadmain near Dorchester with his wife Barbara. They have 3 adult children and 7 grandchildren. And I should have put his picture up. I'm very sorry, I'm not 100% with it today. There he is. There's Michael Dooley, our new Lord Lieutenant, who takes over from Angus Campbell, who's just stepped down after 10 years in the role. Now, a very warm, sunny day and a bumper crowd and the appearance of television star Martin Clunes all contributed to the highest ever total raised by the Weldmar Hospice Summer Fete. The 27th annual flagship fundraiser raised £28,211 in a year where charities expect to spend £1 million more on care than it expects to raise. An estimated 3,000 visitors took advantage of the warm sunny weather and enjoyed attractions such as the Human Fruit Machine, devised by the Weldmar at Home team, entertainment from singers and dancers, animal and reptile visitors from the ranch, the Lovely Bubbly Show, and lots more. A new addition to the fete was the Mystery Box Draw, where prizes included a Cornwall holiday courtesy of Waterside Holiday Group, an Xbox from Phoenix Care Group, and even tickets to the premiere of Joker Folie à Deux from Cineworld. Supporter and friend of Weldmar, Martin Clune spent time chatting with visitors and posing for selfies, and even brought along his 6-month-old puppy Murray for his first public engagement. The Doc Martin star also visited all the patients who were currently staying in the inpatient unit and the nurses who were working whilst the fun was happening outside. Sarah said that the visit from Martin made my dad's day. Pamela on Facebook called it one of the best fetes I've ever been to, whilst Val described it as an amazing day. Fundraising lead for recruitment and engagement, Fiona Hansford said, "It really was the best summer fete. There was such a great atmosphere, the sun was shining, and it was lovely to see so many people flooding through the gates. Thank you to the small army of volunteers who flipped burgers, served cake, ran stalls and games, and helped set up and clear away." In a year where Weldmar is expected to spend around £1 million more on care than it will raise through traditional means, a record total raised by the summer fete is a welcome boost. Now, good news for all households in Dorset. Dorset Council has announced this week that empty food and drink cartons, as well as foil trays and sheet foil, can now be placed in your household recycling bin for collection. The Recycle for Dorset curbside collection scheme has been an enormous success since it was introduced over a decade ago. Dorset Council is currently the #1 unitary council in England for recycling, with 59.1% of the waste collected being recycled. Cartons have been difficult to recycle in the past, as they are similar to cardboard when sorted mechanically, but contain foil or plastic lining. The council's sorting facility partners are now able to separate these cartons for recycling, which they hope residents will find more convenient than banks in car parks that have been provided that currently they need to take this waste to. The success of the Recycle for Dorset scheme is mainly due to the efforts of Dorset's keen recyclers, so it is vital for the council to continue making things simple for people wanting to do the right thing by recycling as many kinds of waste items as possible at the curbside. So, looking at cartons and cardboard tube containers, the council can now accept food and drinks carton, things like soup, milk and juice, etc., in your recycling bin or box alongside the usual paper, plastic cans, etc. They will also accept cardboard tube shaped containers such as the curved crisps, hot chocolate, gravy granules, etc. Just make sure they're completely completely empty, flatten them and pop the lids back on if possible before placing them in the recycle bin. Also, foil has now been added. They can accept foil containers such as pie trays, takeaway dishes, foil sheets to cover food or wrap sandwiches, confectionery foil wrappings such as things that wrap around Easter eggs and inner wrappings of chocolate bars. Foil lids, those sort of lids that go on yogurts and noodles, etc. They would be very grateful if everyone could rinse the foil trays and wipe the sheet foil clean if possible before recycling it. Sheet foil or wrappers should be scrunched up into a ball roughly the size of a tennis ball before placing in the recycle bin. If the foil doesn't scrunch, then it's not the kind of foil that they can recycle. So there you go. I'm certainly grateful of the foil because we collect a lot of foil and I always have to take it off to one of the local recycling centres. So to be able to wash it and put it into the every 2-week collection is gratefully received. Now, Weymouth Town Council has given advance notice that the toilet facilities on Cove Street will temporarily close later this month while the block undergoes a full refurbishment. The work will start on Monday the 30th of September and is anticipated to last 3 months. Starting the work in September will keep disruption to a minimum while the improvements are carried out. The improvements include moving the disabled toilet door so it's more accessible. The new urinals and toilets that will be installed will be fed from the main supply, meaning more efficient use of water. Sensor flushes and sensor taps will also be put in. LED lighting will also be installed, which will make the facilities a lot lighter than the current block, as well as being more energy efficient. And a better ventilation system will also be installed. While Cove Street toilets are closed, the nearest available public toilet facilities are at the Nothe Gardens or Maiden Street. The work is being carried out by a local building company who will fence off the facilities during the refit. Now, the important thing, once complete, a charge of 50p will be introduced to use the new toilets. An electronic payment system will be installed and visitors will then be able to use a bank card or smartphone to make a payment. Anyone with a radar key will still have access to the disabled toilet once the refurbishment is complete. Councillor Matt Bell, who's the chair of Environment and Services Committee at Weymouth Town Council, said, while the toilets at Cove Street are temporarily closed for refurbishment from the 30th of September, I would like to apologise for any inconvenience this may cause in the short term. However, once complete, the new facilities in this busy part of town will be much improved. The refurbishment was approved by the Environment and Services Committee and full council earlier this year, where it was agreed the charge would be introduced for these facilities. The money generated will be put back into the ongoing maintenance and cleaning costs. Now, Great Western Railway services will be affected by rail improvement work taking place between Somerset and Dorset starting tomorrow. Network Rail will replace track on the Heart of Wessex line and train services will be impacted between Dorchester and Weymouth tomorrow, Sunday the 22nd of September. GWR trains will still run between Dorchester West and Westbury, continuing on to Bristol Temple Meads. Replacement bus service is planned between Yeovil Pen Mill and Upwey or Weymouth only. Buses are also planned to replace South Western Railway trains at Dorchester South Station between Wareham and Weymouth. Trains will then be impacted between Dorchester West and Castle Carey from Monday the 23rd to Sunday the 29th of September. GWR trains will still run between Castle Carey and Westbury, continuing on to Bristol Temple Meads, but replacement buses are planned between Castle Carey and Weymouth, stopping at all stations. South Western Railway trains at Dorchester South Station will be unaffected between London, Waterloo and Weymouth. Jordan Wellesby, GWR station manager for Westbury, Wiltshire and Dorset, said this improvement work forms part of an ongoing programme of maintenance, helping to ensure that we can continue to provide consistent and reliable services. Further work will impact train services on this route on the weekend of the 2nd and 3rd of November. Now we'll give you more information on that nearer the time. For the latest information, you can find this on gwr.com/Wessex. gwr.com/Wessex. Now, Read Easy South Dorset are appealing for redundant computer tablets that you would be prepared to donate to a worthwhile cause. If they can be wiped clean, then RESD or Read Easy South Dorset could put them to very good use. RESD offers free one-to-one help to anyone aged 18 or over who struggles with reading. They may not be able to read at all or find it very difficult. Standard course books approved by the National Read Easy charity are used in the twice-weekly half-hour sessions. RESD coordinator Christine Vos said, "We would like to be able to supplement them with by downloading material to help with reading available on the internet, for example, from the BBC. There is also an online reading scheme called ANSPER, which uses slightly different techniques to our courses and which could add some variety to the coaching sessions. People could also practice navigating the internet, following on-screen instructions, filling in forms and so on, all the skills that are vital in this modern world. Read Easy South Dorset is appealing to businesses and individuals who have tablets they no longer need or use. And you can contact Della, who's the Read Easy team leader, on 07984 413 145. That's 07984 413145. Now, officers from Dorset Police investigating a road traffic collision in Weymouth are appealing for witnesses or anyone with relevant dashcam footage to come forward. The collision occurred at around 2:30 p.m. on Saturday the 7th of September on the Chickerell Link Road at the junction with Link Park Road. It was reported that a vehicle travelling along Chickerell Link Road towards Chickerell Camp stopped suddenly, causing a collision involving two vehicles travelling behind, a silver Toyota Yaris and a black Vauxhall Corsa. The vehicle, which was reported to have stopped suddenly, left the scene, possibly even unaware of the collision that had occurred behind it. Police Constable Chloe Seward of Weymouth Police said, "We are carrying out inquiries into this collision and are looking to identify the third vehicle involved. I am keen to speak to anyone who may have witnessed the incident or captured it on dashcam or CCTV footage." Also, staying with Dorset Police would also like to help with another incident this week. At around 4 a.m. on Friday this week, the 20th of September, a blue Audi A4 car was stolen from outside an address in Jestes Avenue, Weymouth. Police Constable James Jansen of Dorset Police said, "I am appealing to anyone who witnessed the Audi A4 being driven around the relevant time of the incident to please contact us. I'm reaching out to residents in the Dorchester Road area of the town to please check their home CCTV cameras. I'd also like to hear from motorists with dashcam fitted to their vehicles who were driving in the area at the time of the incident to review their footage and see if they have captured anything that may identify the suspect." So the relevant time is around 4 a.m. on Friday the 20th of September. That's this Friday just gone. You'd know if you're around at 4 a.m. in the morning, obviously, if you're going off to work early, or if you're one of those people that work in the night and coming home. And it's a blue Audi A4 stolen from Jestes Avenue, and their interest obviously in Jestes Avenue and the Dorchester Road areas if you've got any dashcam footage. As ever, you can contact Dorset Police on 101, or if you wish to give information anonymously via the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. Now, a significant programme of work to replace the two main harbour walls which support the peninsula in Weymouth behind the pavilion will start early in 2025 and is likely to take around 12 months to complete. Recent inspections show the walls of the peninsula to be in a very poor condition. As such, they need to be replaced urgently to prevent failure. The current walls, known as walls F and G, were constructed in 1977 by Weymouth and Portland Borough Council. These will be replaced with new walls which will be installed in front of the existing walls. The new walls need to be higher than what is currently in place to protect the peninsula from predicted sea level rises until the year 2100. Once the wall replacement work is complete, a raised public walkway will be built behind them on the peninsula to ensure the panoramic views over the walls are maintained. Councillor John Andrews, Dorset Council's cabinet member for Place, said, "Unfortunately, not doing this work is not an option. Dorset Council has a duty to maintain its harbour walls, and if we choose not to replace these walls soon, the strength and stability of the peninsula is at risk. A section of the car park and walkway has already been fenced off at the far end as minor sinkholes have appeared above where the wall is already failing. The first phase of the work will start on the wall closest to the beach by the pavilion. To provide contractors and their machinery with safe working area, temporary traffic lights will be in place opposite the pavilion forecourt. Access to and from the pavilion car park will be restricted to a single lane, and a small section of the beach which hugs the harbour wall will be closed for the public for part of the work. These restrictions are expected to be in place until the end of May." Councillor Richard Biggs, who's Dorset Council's cabinet member for Assets and Regeneration, said Dorset Council has ambitions to create a collaborative long-term vision for Weymouth, building on the town's unique identity. Government funding of £19.5 million is helping Dorset Council to bring forward several sites across the town which will deliver a mix of dwellings, including an appropriate element of affordable homes together with suitable commercial enterprises that encourage economic generation. If we do not carry out this vital engineering programme, longer-term regeneration of this site cannot move forward. Now, the Dorset Council agreed back in January to the estimated costs, which amount to £10.5 million for the total cost of the wall replacement project. Most of this, £6.5 million, will come from the £19.5 million awarded to Dorset Council by the government last year. The remainder will be funded by Dorset Council and the Weymouth Harbour Authority. The project team is hopeful that the final cost will be less than that estimated. As the work gets closer, the council will be holding information sessions for local people once the work has started. Now, new housing developments at 3 different locations across Dorset, providing almost 50 affordable homes and homes for first-time buyers, have been launched. The sites in both East and South Dorset will collectively provide 19 homes for first-time buyers and key workers in Verwood, 9 affordable homes in Portland as part of Community Land Trust project, and 18 social rent flats in Weymouth. Dorset Council helped to develop these schemes with several partnerships to support home ownership and affordable homes for local people. In Portland, Dorset Council provided a community housing grant for the first Community Land Trust scheme in the area. Middlemarch Community-led Housing supported Portland CLT, with East Borough Housing managing the development, which was built by Corey Limited, who also provided the land. For the Weymouth scheme, Dorset Council worked with the Housing Association Sovereign Network Group and developer Aitchison to provide social rent homes on a redeveloped brownfield site in the town. Councillor Jill Taylor, who's the Cabinet Member for Health and Housing, said these schemes represent what can be achieved and what we would like to replicate on a larger scale so more local residents can access affordable housing. All of these developments bring something unique to the areas, providing homes and security for people who live and work in these communities. The Community Land Trust development has been built on Portland's former Southwell Primary School site off Sweet Hill Lane. It has been built with Portland stone quarried on the island by local workforce. With energy efficient design and technologies, customers living in these homes will also benefit from low energy bills. Preference for these homes will be given to people with a local connection. In Weymouth, residents have already moved into one of the 18 high-quality 2-bedroom flats which can provide a home for up to 4 people. There we go, good news there for those looking for homes locally. Now, it's almost time for Weymouth Waterfest, a free event that takes place tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Weymouth Beach. You can try out a range of water sports, including sea swimming, kayaking and paddleboarding. Plus there will be yoga on the beach, and Revive Wild Sauna will be there offering sauna taster sessions. The event is aimed at Weymouth residents, both adults and children, who want to increase their confidence in different water sports and make use of the beautiful natural resources on our doorstep. A sandcastle competition for children and young people with judging at 12 p.m. will also be on, and the prize is a family ticket to Weymouth Sandworld. Dorset Rex, Way Bay Rockers and Weymouth Ukuleleans will be there to soundtrack the day, and there are some fun activities for children to do, including a sandcastle building competition, and there will be free face painting. At 1:45, participants who want to take part will be invited into the sea to sing the Hokey Cokey. That sounds fun, doesn't it? There will also be stalls with the chance to talk to some of the sea swimming groups in Weymouth, and if you're not aware, there are a number of sea swimming groups that swim in the sea all year round, and the Blue Tits and the Beach Babes will be there tomorrow and talk to people about sea swimming and the benefits of sea swimming. There are activity sessions with Weymouth Outdoor Education Centre and Adventure for All. The event is a partnership between Weymouth Town Council, Adventure for All, Revive Wild Sauna and Weymouth Outdoor Education Centre, sea swimming groups including Blue Tits, Beach Babes, Groin Boobies and Bouncers, along with Everyone Active Surf Lifesaving Club and the RNLI. So that's 11 o'clock till 2 o'clock on the Esplanade Weymouth Seafront tomorrow. Now, Weymouth Town Council Environment and Services Committee met this week to consider the future of the Weymouth Beach fireworks. The plan looked at whether there should be fireworks for the next 5 years, that's 2025 to 2030. Following a debate, it was agreed that the firework display should continue on the 5 Mondays of the school summer holidays, with 2 of the displays being low noise displays. A recent consultation on social media undertook by Weymouth Town Council had drawn 492 responses. 370 said they enjoyed the fireworks and 43 said they didn't, with 75 saying they would prefer quieter firework displays. We understand the plan also means the displays on the November the 5th will continue as well. Next, the Weymouth Street Pastors have recently expanded, and 2 members have also undertaken specialist additional training as response pastors. This means they can now support people and offer additional emotional supports in time of crisis or disaster. They may also travel to other areas of the country to offer support at a time of crisis or disaster elsewhere in the UK. The Weymouth Street Pastors can be found on the streets in Weymouth Town Centre every Friday and Saturday night from around 9:45 p.m. to 3 a.m, with their main aim of ensuring vulnerable people on the streets of Weymouth are kept safe. And finally, in our headlines tonight, ArtsReach are thrilled this week to reveal one of their most exciting programmes to date, packed with 28 exciting local, national and international companies and performers who will visit more than 40 communities right across Dorset between October and Christmas this year. And I've got a copy of the programme that arrived in my post this week, and it is absolutely jam-packed. Alongside 54 live performances, 6 of touring artists will also lead a variety of participatory workshops, from dance and acrobatics to music and Brazilian beats. Copies of the new programme are winging their way across the county, so if you're on the mailing list, watch out if you've not got yours yet. You can also pick up a copy of the programme from various locations across Dorset, including libraries and tourist information centres, or of course you can ask for one to be sent to you, or you can just get the information from the ArtsReach website at artsreach.co.uk. And that's the end of our headlines this week. We're going to stay with ArtsReach first of all, and we're going to learn something about some of their work that has happened over the summer. And one of these was an animation workshop for young people. Now, stop motion animation is a magical process. As part of the 2024 ArtsReach Children's Summer Workshop programme, a group of budding young filmmakers came together, created new characters and exciting film scenery. They use laptops and cameras to capture them moving on screen. During the day, the group learned all about storyboarding, set building, model making, animating, sound recording and editing as they brought their films to life. And here's what they created. And this was all done at Buckland Newton Village Hall on the 31st of July. And this is from one of Arts Reach animation workshops. There we go, that's just some film from one of the workshops done by Arts Reach that does all sorts of performances and all sorts of activities for the children also during the summer. You can learn more about Arts Reach and what is planned this autumn in the lead up to Christmas by popping along to their website artsreach.co.uk. And as I said many a time, they do stuff all over Dorset. They do focus very much on small communities and rural villages. But I think it gives an amazing opportunity not only to go out and see some of these wonderful shows and participatory events that they organise, but it also gets us out into parts of the Dorset community that perhaps we wouldn't otherwise visit. So why not make a day of it? Pop out, get a pub meal, and then go to one of the Arts Reach events and explore some of rural Dorset. Now, it's time in our programme this week to go over to our regular presenter Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to White Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, Bad Boys Ride or Die arrived on home video. The film, starring Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, is the fourth film in the Bad Boys franchise and revolves around Miami detectives Mike Lowry and Marcus Burnett, who attempt to clear the name of the late Captain Conrad Howard after he is falsely accused of conspiracy. And then the Smith and Lawrence, they then have to go on the run, so it's a whole thing. The film received even mixed reviews from critics, but was a hit with audiences and was a box office success. I watched the film in the cinema in June. I was bafflingly bored by it. I was just bored. It's like I just didn't really. It's not like I sort of didn't get it. It's just more the jokes they were trying to do. They're just boring. So I gave the film 2.5 stars out of 5, which was pretty generous for me. So Bad Boys Ride or Die is now on home video. This weekend, the body horror film The Substance is released in cinemas to, as far as I can tell, limited showings. Maybe only depending on the cinema, 1 a day and at night. The film stars Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley and Dennis Quaid, and is an international co-production between the UK and France. The film revolves around a fading celebrity who decides to use a black market cell-replicating drug that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself, but it unknowingly gives her horrifying side effects. The film won Best Screenplay at the Cannes Film Festival back in May, and has received about 90% positive reviews from critics who praised Moore's performance and the gore. The film is in cinemas this weekend and should be expected to stream on the UK streaming service Mubi, M-U-B-I, at some point in the near future. I won't be checking it out. I'm not a body horror fan. I really sort of dislike 18 rated gore these days, so that's not for me. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I'll be previewing the new Francis Ford Coppola film Megalopolis. It's coming out next week, although I believe that is limited showings as well. And I'll also be previewing Hellboy the Crooked Man, yet another reboot of the Hellboy film series. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And I'm not a fan of 18 plus gore movies either, so there's certainly a type of movie that I would avoid as well. So I have sympathy with you, Andrew, on that one. It's time for the national UK weather forecast for the weekend and the start of the week ahead from the Met Office. And this week, I think we are joined by Jonathan Vaughtry, hopefully.
Hello there, good afternoon. It is somewhat mixed fortunes across the UK today in terms of our weather, with two pressure systems affecting us. It's high pressure in the north, keeping things a bit more settled, but low pressure is increasingly moving its way into the south to provide a slightly more unsettled theme over the next couple of days. For Scotland at least, with high pressure in charge, a fine day for the Highlands, Argyll and Bute, a lot of sunshine. Clouds still lingering though through the central belt and along those eastern coastal regions. A few sunny spells should hopefully emerge from Northern Ireland, parts of northwest England as well, but you'll see those showers starting to move their way in for Wales, central southwestern areas of England. These graphics not to be taken too literally. They will be scattered in nature, so not everyone will see the thunderstorms, but there is a warning in force throughout the rest of the day, because where they do occur, we could see some torrential downpours of rain, hail, frequent lightning as well, so some travel disruption is possible, and it's worth staying up to date with the forecast. You can also use the radar feature in the Met Office app to track any showers and thunderstorms as they develop during the day. If you manage to dodge the showers though, there will still be some decent sunny spells for central southeastern areas, and so temperatures here climbing towards 25 degrees Celsius. 20 degrees Celsius is also possible for the likes of Oban and other areas of northwest Scotland where we see a lot of sunshine during today. That cloud along eastern coastal areas though will keep it a bit cooler, 13-12 degrees Celsius here, and it will start to ingress a bit more inland as we head throughout this evening, spreading its way back in, but far northwest of Scotland again staying relatively clear. Into the evening though, those showers will push their way in across Wales, might clip the far south of Northern Ireland even, before we see another pulse of thundery rain moving its way in across the Channel Islands and then into southern areas of England come dawn tomorrow morning. Quite a muggy, mild night for a lot of us. Temperatures not dropping much below 13 to 16 degrees Celsius, but it'll be cooler again in those rural spots of northwest Scotland, particularly in those sheltered valleys. We might even see a little touch of air frost there. For Scotland and Northern Ireland, even into Northern England, Sunday is a relatively similar day. Again, the best of the sunshine will be further towards the west, whereas that cloud will try and burn its way back towards eastern coastal areas again, but could produce the odd spot of drizzle. For the south, though, it is this band of thundery rain that will push its way steadily northwards, again turning very wet for Wales, central southern areas of England. Further disruption is possible with this rain already falling in places that have seen quite a lot of rainfall over the past couple of days. Still quite muggy and humid in amongst all of this. Temperatures a little down, but still around 20 to 21 degrees Celsius, and still feeling pretty warm in that sunshine across northwestern Scotland. Quite cool though across those eastern coasts of Scotland and northeast England. This rain will linger across Wales and stall a bit into the Midlands as well as we head into Sunday evening, but it should eventually gradually move its way eastwards as we head during the day on Monday. And into the new working week, things are generally still staying on the slightly unsettled side. Tuesday could be a bit of a calmer day for many of us. Wednesday, though, and into the midweek is certainly looking increasingly wet and windy. But as we do head into the new week, temperatures are going to be dropping down a bit for all of us. It is certainly going to be turning cooler over the next few days. There'll be plenty more updates on that across our YouTube channel, so make sure you are subscribed and ready for all of those. Otherwise, we'll see you again here very soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Jonathan, for the weekend weather forecast from the Met Office. Turning to the south coast, what can we expect this coming week? Well, as Jonathan said, getting a bit cooler. Some sunny spells, possible humid and possible thundery storms. I mean, we were threatened thundery storms on Friday evening, but I think certainly down here in Weymouth we seem to avoid them. But I think there is a threat for the rest of this week. Likely to be quite wet tomorrow on Sunday, as we saw with those fronts coming across the country. But well, we can't moan too much. We've had quite a nice week this week. The last 3 or 4 days has actually been quite pleasant. So you never know. We might end up with 2 or 3 pleasant days this coming week as well. Now, turning to what's on, what have we got coming up? Well, first of all, Weymouth Pavilion, 27th of September, The Wall of Floyd, Best of Pink Floyd. 4th of October, and finally Phil Collins. 9th of October, Imperial Classic Ballet presents Swan Lake. And 13th of October, a tribute to the Carpenters. Just a handful of some of the many shows that are coming up at Weymouth Pavilion. Pop along to their website to book tickets, and for more information on those shows and other shows, weymouthpavilion.com. Looking next at the Knowth Fort. Tomorrow, Family Science Festival at the Knowth Fort. A range of science demonstrations around the fort, ideal for families and children. 29th of September, the following week, Pause for Fort. That's the dog show and dog-friendly events at the Knowth Fort. 5th to 6th of October, Pirate Weekend. 26th of October to 3rd of November, Halloween fun at the Knowth. Again, pop along to the Knowth Fort website, knowthfort.org, for more information. Friday the 27th of September, organ recital in White Regis at All Saints Church, 7:30, with Zosha Hurley O'Brien. Marks the organ at All Saints Church being brought back into use after it's been cocooned with roof works underway for the last 3 or 4 months. She's a 22-year-old New Zealander, much in demand as an organist, solo, orchestral and chamber musician. And she's going to be playing the 1884 Henry Jones organ that's been removed from its plastic cocoon. So tickets are available online at www.parishofwhiteregis.org.uk/events. They are available 24/7 there, online booking and payment system. Looking at church services tomorrow, 8 o'clock, All Saints Church White Regis, 9:30 communion service All Saints Church White Regis, and 11 o'clock service at St Edmund's Lane House. Our other programme this week, our weekly Saturday evening quiz, will be on at 7:30 tonight, with streams going live about 7:20. That is free. It's family and community friendly. Anybody is welcome. Doesn't matter if you're good at quizzes or good at questions, or if you're like me, absolutely hopeless. If you would like to join with other people playing a quiz online live tonight, you would be most welcome. That brings us to the end of this week's programme. If you have any news or events or any community information for us to tell the people of White Regis, Weymouth, South Dorset and beyond, then do drop us an email during the week at news@whiteregis.tv. We would love to hear from you. That brings me to the end of this week's programme. Hope you have a wonderful weekend and a good week ahead, and I look forward to being back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Good night.